love the wrong person, you gotta live with that. Right now, I just need you to listen. All my lovers out there, make sure you wanna be with you, dig? Cheer. Made a mistake, baby. Ain't no turning back now, though. You gotta live with it. You feel me? Let's go. Love gone for good, ain't never coming back. Bloodshot red, now my heart turned black. We was both young, I ain't never blame that. Both got hurt like a train, same track. I need to let you know that I need to let you go. Find me at the club, getting poppin' like whoa. When you sleep at night, hope you think about your boy. Lying, looking up, thinking that you hear my voice. Hear it in your room, hear it all alone. Hearing things, thinking that I'm breathing on the phone, but I'm gone, girl. Try to play me for a fool, but you're wrong, girl. I'm full of pain, loving you. One life to live, so live it to the fullest. The hell with the haters, love hurt like bullets. Now I'm P.I.M.P. Cupid with a semi. Lovers keep a couple, now the prophet got plenty. Go.
We will have one more presentation now, and then we will have a short question and answer session. And the last minutes of the conference will be managed by László and Balázs. It will be a final wrap-up. Zoltán Mészáros is with us. He is the founder and the manager of West Filmfest Music Festival. And I know that the internet, the web is not a reliable source, but I made a research on you, and the internet said that you are not only a festival organizer, but you are a restaurant owner and a hotel owner as well. So maybe we will see what is more difficult, to organize West Filmfest or to manage crazy guests in a hotel. Zoltán, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the kind introduction and for the order. Actually, besides being a hotel owner and a restaurant owner, which I've been doing for more than 18 or 19 years now, I'm also a co-founder of Schneidberger Music Talent Center, which is a special educational school at a small valley besides the village of Felschörch. This is mainly for handicapped youth, Roma, musically talented guys. It's a 12 weeks a year special course school. I've been doing that for 8 years. That was established in 2010. And I started my career after leaving my teaching job at 1991, which my profession, originally I was a teacher. I established the fourth local Hungarian free private radio. It was called Radio Jam. And when I sold in 2005, it's already been a 5 stations regional network. We had radio stations in different towns in the region close to the Balaton, the northern part of a lake. But this time I'm here to tell you one of my kindest kid, Veszprém Fest. And I was asked to title this presentation to be attractive enough, and I decided to use this title, Pavarotti in Veszprém. And it's not accidentally and not incoincidentally, because I will tell you the story why it was a title. So let's start. This is the Bishop's Palace. If you've been to the castle area in Veszprém, I seriously recommend you to do so, to visit Veszprém in a summer day. Actually, that's a late 18th century building. On the right side of a building, the bishop still lives there. So since in the past 250 years, the Veszprém bishop's residence is this palace. And that surrounds the Trinity Square. The Trinity Square, that was mainly the inspiration for me. It's a windswept, out of the 356 days, let's say 345 days, it's completely empty. So my inspiration for establishing an international festival is mainly about the venue, mainly about this Baroque architecture, mainly about these surroundings, this inspiration coming from the surroundings, which I personally consider to be very important in terms of when we're talking about musical venues and we're talking about venues for festivals. Just like Sziget Festival, being on a Sziget, which is a kind of separated place where you can feel completely free, nevertheless, which country you're coming from, even from Hungary. So the place, the venue is a very inspiring something, and my experience in the past 16 years by managing the festival and being familiar with all sorts of international stars from opera and jazz and world music, that kind of inspiration is very important for them as well, and if they're inspired, they perform differently. And it goes straight to the audience as well, so inspiration is very important. The dream I had, if you compare these two pictures, this empty square and the building, I had a vision about how to see and how to envision a colorful, wonderful, beautiful, small arena of an international festival, just like this. Just like this, a little bit different, like this. That's the Trinity Church on the left side and the cathedral behind. So the whole square, which is size-wise around, you see 2,000 people sitting there. It has a kind of late 18th centuries Baroque buildings all around the square. You see the pictures painted at the concert. So this is the vision I had and the vision we have realized in the festival in the past 16 years. It's a jazz concert. You wouldn't tell it's 2,000 people, but there are 2,000 people there. That's the Trinity Church. That was an inspiration for so many Hungarian artists. You probably heard about Miklós Jancsó, a famous Hungarian director. He directed a film that was filmed in this square in 1967, so pretty early they also had the inspiration about this special square for artistic reasons. So what I I had a clear vision about what I'm intending to do with this festival and how to change and how to turn this beautiful part of a natural built heritage into a music festival's venue. So I saw it quite clearly, actually, as I tried to illustrate you with those pictures. And obviously, I had a concept about what sort of festivals I'm trying to dream into this venue. And so the music concept of a festival, it's quite strongly relates to the venue, because as you have 18th century buildings all around, and you have the capacity of, let's say, between 2,000 and 3,000 people, you definitely do not dream about inviting, let's say, Red Hot Chili Peppers or the Rolling Stones, for many reasons, and not only because if it's impossible financially, because of your size and because of possible income you can generate on ticket sales, but because of the atmosphere, because it needs to relate to the surroundings. The musical content, the artistic content somehow needs to relate to the built natural cultural heritage and the surroundings, I really believe. And I had a faith that I really believed when the idea came out around 2002, 2003, that how about organizing an international festival with international stars in such a small town like Veszprém. Veszprém has a population around 60,000 people, so it's quite small. So I really believe that I can do it, and I really believe that this is a realizable, sustainable, maintainable idea. So the only thing I needed to do is to go into action, and I did so. So the reason I use this gentleman as a title holder, or title owner, is because that time in 2002 or 2003, I had a conversation and a coffee with a friend of mine who was a composer, graduated from Graz in Vienna Music Academy. And he told me surprisingly that he was attending to a concert of Luciano Pavarotti, who at that time was already the ever best paid opera star in the history of opera, actually. So he could easily ask for 3,000, 4,000, 400,000 or 500,000 euros for only one night, or maybe $1 million US dollar for only singing for one night, which was almost very close to what pop stars can ask for one night. And he saw him performing at a small church, a relatively small church in Vienna, right in front of just around 1,000 people. And he was surprised. How could it happen that such a great star, the numero uno in the opera scene, could have been afforded to be playing in front of such a small amount of people, just 1,000 people? So it was a very good story for me, so I decided for the briefing I made, and I forwarded to the local municipality of Veszprém, to the mayor of Veszprém, about the idea. It was titled that Pavarotti in Veszprém. It's also about my philosophy, that if you want to be listened, if you want to be heard, you need to shout very loud till everybody in the last row will listen what you're going to say. And I think it was quite visible, quite understandable what I'm trying to say in a small town. Let's invite Luciano Pavarotti. And so the local assembly at the municipality came together, and they made a decision that a feasibility study should be made about whether it's feasible or not. So they ordered a feasibility study from a special company. This is actually amongst all of the projects and all of the enterprises I've been engaged and I've been owning, from the music school to the hotel to the restaurant to also Vada. This is the one and only where ever a feasibility study had been made. But all of these stories are back to 10 or 20 years before. And the result came out about the feasibility study, and it said it's not possible. So there's no enough parking places, there's no enough hotel rooms. How could the international stars would be able to book for such a small town without serious name, almost an unpronounceable and very strange name? The town is too small for hosting an international festival. So that was the point when I was absolutely sure this is a good idea. I was absolutely sure that the whole idea I figured out is going to work. And I just started to do it. Of course, the first year was a kind of very important year when you tested that your idea is feasible and sustainable and realizable. But after these 10 minutes of introduction, I would like to give you, because I was asked also to do some kind of entertaining, more entertaining presentation. And this is basically about music, not about talking. So please enjoy this short movie, which is a kind of summary of, let's say, the past 10, 15 years. I would like to bring you closer a little bit to this square I've been trying to describe how inspiring it is. You will see the musical genres, all different styles. I mean, just a few examples, but I hope you will have a closer impression of what I'm talking about. Enjoy it.
That's what I'm talking about. Check it out, check it out. Oh, somebody say yeah, say yeah, say oh yeah, oh yeah.
Each night before you go to bed, my baby, whisper a little, pray for me, my baby.
To tell you what you should be thinking, so let's all around for just a second, 7 seconds away, just as long as I stay. In a when I knew that it was best to go, is it too late to show you the shape of my heart?
What a wonderful world.
When you fall and you can't pick your head beyond the ground, when the friends you thought you had haven't stuck around, that's when you feel my kind of love.
Holding on, and it's holding strong. Even though I tried to make it play the part, but I can't fake it. It keeps holding on, and it's holding strong. Even though I tried to break it, heaven knows that I can't shake it.
Preciso mi decir que todo eso que te digo, que apenas suena sin sentir. Tuve un buen amigo.
A nuestra dicha, lo que me queda por vivir es solo un tiempo que tú le puedas dedicar a nuestra dicha. Baby, let us three words, one reading in my heart. Baby, let us three words, one feeling when it starts. It's time. It's time.
Veszprémfest. Premium music for premium people.
So the crazy guy was Jamie Cullum by the end. So, and I believe you have a little bit closer impression of what we are going to here at the castle. So the castle changed. You've seen, okay. So 16 years of development is what we just been going through. You've probably seen, many of you might seen Social Network, the Hollywood movie, and they start Facebook at the Harvard University dormitory. And Zuckerberg is asked by his friend, Eduardo Severin, you remember that? And he asked, okay, I understand Facebook, but when will Facebook be ready? And what was answered by Zuckerberg is, it's like fashion. It's never ready. This is my impression about the festival. Festival is a project which is always under serious development. Year by year, when we finish those 4, 5, 6 days of a festival, we come together with stuff. And each department leaders, from staging, sound, lighting, booking, catering, whatever, security, they have a list, at least 10 items listed. What are those items you would like to do better or differently in terms of developing the festival? So it's pretty much like Facebook, pretty much like fashion. So that's what personally inspires me, that it's not like a study, something that you finished. You never finish a festival, organizing a festival. So in terms of developing, what we've been doing in the past more good 10 years, we develop new venues. We introduce new venues into the line of a festival. The first one we started, that's Trinity Square. That's a traditional inspiration. We started the festival. Capacity-wise, I told you previously that the capacity is very important for many aspects. If it's a seated capacity, when you have an opera concert, you sit like audience sit like you. When it's jazz concert, audience sit, but it's let's say a Kool and the Gang concert, audience is not sitting for certain reasons. They want to move, maybe they want to dance. So it's between this 2,000 and 3,000 capacity. You see some indoor pictures. Festival is mainly outdoor festival, so I really believe, and as far as I can go, I try to insist on keep the festival outdoor, because it's in summer and we have beautiful surroundings with beautiful natural venues. But in terms of rain or in terms of bad weather, statistically, 47% of our events needed to move indoor because of a bad weather, which is quite high. So we needed to search for a kind of indoor alternativity, because we do not have a rain day option. Some festivals has. For instance, if you go down to Szeged and you start watching an opera piece or a musical piece and the rain comes down and everybody's just sprayed away or running away, you need to check up to a website and figure out whether Tuesday or Wednesday is the day that you are allowed to come back to Szeged to see the piece. No, we don't do that, not only from this reason, partly because the international stars we book are in European tours. Mainly they are touring in Europe, and they optimizing the routing plan, they call. So from Ljubljana to Zagreb to Graz to Veszprém to Prague. This is an optimized routing plan from the international star. So sometimes it happens that a star arriving, performing at my festival, a previous night they already performed in I don't know, in Turkey or in Linz or whatever a place they performed. So it's a quite tightly organized routing plan for them. So this is the reason we use Veszprém Arena. Secondly, sometimes if we're lucky enough and they have money enough to book for a star whose attractivity goes beyond the capacity of our outdoor venue, which is limiting us to, let's say, 2,000 or 3,000, and we previously can imagine that we would be able to sell, let's say, 4,000 or 5,000 tickets, we need to use the Veszprém Arena as a bigger venue in terms of being able to provide enough ticket sales to pay Sir Tom Jones, for instance, who's quite expensive. So this is Veszprém Arena. All the others are outdoor venues. Old Town Square, this is the venue, this is the old market square downtown at the center of Veszprém, at the heart of a town. 70 years ago, it was every Sunday, Saturday and Sunday, a crowded marketplace. Now it's completely empty, pretty much like the Trinity Square, which is empty more than 300 days a year. Old Town Square is quite empty, let's say, with the exception of 40 days a year. And we have a special small festival being developed, I'll tell you details later, with about 25,000 visitors. Jesuit Ruin Garden, sounds beautiful, but it was almost finished to be building by the Jesuits by the late 17th century. It's down at the Shade Valley. It's with a smaller capacity, a capacity of the local theater actually, which is 460, 450 people. So the main option for this Jesuit ruin garden is the local theater with the same capacity, because any new venues we figure out, we need to take care about the rain alternative as well. Different types of music. So the musical variety and diversity, which is also very important, it also comes with the size of the venues we're using. So there's a very certain difference between, let's say, 1 to 10, between a fully crowded Veszprém Arena concert and a fully crowded Jesuit Garden concert, which is almost 6,000 and almost 500 people. Bishop's Garden sounds beautiful too. That's actually the summer residence of a bishop, which is on the eastern part of a castle hill at a beautiful park besides, I'm not saying river, but let's say the Shade Creek. It used to be the summer residence of a bishop, and or brand new. So we developed this venue about 3 years ago, and we introduced it into the line of our venue. These are all the venues we've been using or we have ever used. Capacity-wise is between slightly bigger than the original venue. So, besides the different venues we've been developing, I explained you briefly about the arts concept, which is very important. From the real beginning, we started with jazz. Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, Oldie Meola, Joe Zawinul, Wayne Shorter, big names of jazz, Diana Krall, Gregory Porter, you see the guy with the hat, George Benson, the Manhattan Transfer takes it. So jazz was one of the musical pillars of when I was trying to explain that there should be some kind of appropriate understanding between the musical context and the venue, the build architecture surrounding. This was what I was referring to, instead of inviting Led Zeppelin, which wouldn't be possible for many reasons. But so that's the point. Also, world music. You see some guys at the short movie, the great Paco de Lucia. He passed away sadly just half a year after performing last time at 2013 at my festival. Khaled from Algeria. Youssef Noor, 7 Seconds guy. He was actually running for the presidency in Senegal, but he lost. But he's a very good singer. Omar Apotuondo, member of the original Buena Vista Social Club. Ziggy Marley, the eldest son of the great Bob Marley. Richard Bono, a wonderful singer from Cameroon. Gilberto Gil from Brazil. He was Minister of Culture for 5 years in Brazil besides. Mori Kante from Guinea. And Diego El Cigale, you also seen the flamenco singer guy, twice Grammy awarded singer. Pop music. After the first 5 years, I had an impression that these jazz, world music, and opera orientation looks to be, from a certain sense and a certain point of view, too narrow in terms of satisfying some sponsor needs and from other aspects. So we started to book some kind of pop groups and pop musicians. We started with the great Gypsy Kings, also Candy Dulfer, Ed Bianco, Katie Melua, Craig David, Lisa Stansfield, Emily Sandé, Sir Tom Jones, as I told you, or Jamie Cullum. We finished the film, but Jamie Cullum can be considered to be a jazz musician as well. So we opened the musical windows in a festival with the pop and opera. You see Jose Cura, who's a funny guy, didn't want it to stop that part of a piece. Or Ramon Vargas, or some Hungarian sopranos, or Paolo Gavanelli. So this is the musical part. Altogether, if I add up all the Grammy Awards that the lineup and the performers arrived to Veszprém, it's around a little bit over now than 180 Grammy Awards. I used to frustrate the local theater director when we sit down and talk about the festivals. Just imagine, because he asked me, what is the Grammy Award? I said, just imagine that you've been organizing for 16 years a theater festival in Veszprém. And if you add up all the Oscar awarded directors and actors and actresses, you have 180 Oscar awards altogether. So now he understands what I'm talking about Grammys. Some numbers. about who is the audience. We had an idea that who is the audience you would like to reach. And by survey, year by year, we track, is it really the audience we have reached? It's not a surprise, all of the Hungarian festivals are female overweighted a little bit, so somehow festivals are more preferred by women than men. It's very interesting that certain performers, how performers are differing in terms of being feminine or masculine in terms of attractivity. I can tell you that Marcus Miller is the most muscular jazz player I ever witnessed because 68,000 of the audience were men. Age profile, you see the average on the right side is 41.2, so we never wanted to be a festival for the younger generations because the competition, mainly for many reasons, but the competition is very, very strong amongst Hungarian festivals aiming the age group between 18 and 29 or 30 or 34. So the idea is never been aiming that or taking part in that kind of competition. So it's also very interesting in terms of if you have an opera piece, this average goes up to, let's say, 55, which from some point are very seriously considerable because some musical genres are aged or aging, but that's another story. Occupation. 30% of the audience are employee, mid or high ranked managers, and another roughly 30%, so 60% of our audience are working in their own company, so the owners, they're running their own enterprise. Education, 73% of our audience averagely college or university degreed people, so quite high profile. This is a touristic marker. Roughly 50% of the audience comes from the central Hungarian region. Budapest is very heavy. And another 31% is from the North Tranubian region. We detect on the ticket sales, the routers list, so we know that Győr, Székesfehérvár, Pécs are the three most significant towns in terms of how we can reach audience in the region. And the weight of Budapest, as I told you earlier, that's averagely this year, actually this is a study of 2014, I think, or 15, or 16, 15. It's almost 40% of our audience comes from Budapest. So Budapest is very, very heavy market for us. So in terms of marketing communications, in terms of billboard activities or visibility, public place visibility and advertisement buying, Budapest is very important. Sometimes it's too important. Let's say the Jamie Cullum when we had, the last 17th of July, there's a Thievery Corporation. It's a DJ duo, and that was 50% of the audience from Budapest. What else in terms of development? We developed the venues, we developed the musical genres, we opened up new windows, and we developed another festival. After 5 years, I had an impression that in terms of, if you want to consider ourselves to be a serious festival, we need to figure out something, how to balance this kind of, let's say, aristocratic attitude in terms of the accessibility, the availability for our programs only through ticket sales. So definitely there are certain classes and a certain amount of people who wouldn't, for certain reason, wouldn't be able to buy tickets. So we wanted to do a free event. And we were thinking about what to do, and that was the point when we installed the old town square, the heart of a town, into the festival, and we started the Rosé, Riesling and Jazz Day, which is mainly a music and a jazz and wine festival. 3 main points: 30 winemakers. Imagine a wine village that surrounds the small square, 30 concerts, and it was 10 days. It starts a little bit before the main days of a festival and finishes always at Sunday, the following Sunday. Now I've been talking about 20 more minutes. Now you get another video to enjoy. So that's Rosé Riesling and Jazz Days. That was a teaser. Hope I teased your wish to come and visit. For the winemakers, we have a terroir attitude, so we only provide wooden barracks for winemakers in the Balaton region. So Balaton wines, roughly around 150 types of Balaton wines can be tasted. And musically, it's quite opposite of what we're doing on the main stage. On the main stage, mainly international stars. Right here, only Hungarian bands. 50% of the bands, vocal jazzists, Hungarian jazzists, mainly for the younger generations. And some other musical formats which are pretty close to that kind of talking, eating, and being together attitude. So we have rockabilly, we have, let's say, soul fusion, these sort of genres. Let's say some numbers, because I heard that you keen for numbers. Capacity-wise, we are limited, so we cannot do what Sziget Festival have been doing, and at Sheeran concert, that they opened up the gates and entered as many people as almost impossible to get entered. As we have certain capacity limits, we roughly sell between 12 and 15,000 tickets a year for the main stage, depending on how many days we do and depending on how many times we go to the arena, which is bigger, so it differs year by year. On the Rosé Riesling Jazz Days, which is a smaller square, at the same time, roughly, let's say, between 1,000 and 1,500 people can be seated or standing or dancing or being at the square at one time, but it's quite long because it starts at 5 o'clock. We open the wine village at 5, and at 1 o'clock in the morning it stops. So it's roughly around 25 visitors a year during the 10 days of Rosé Riesling and Jazz Days. The budget, we do this on roughly around 1.3 million euros budget, which can be considered to be very small comparing to our international festivals. But comparing to the country, the countryside in Hungary, we are surely amongst the 10 or the 10 biggest festivals in the country by budget. So what's the three main portions of the income? Ticket sales is roughly 1/3, sometimes it's more, bad times is less. Sponsoring is another third, so if there are sponsors here, I have plenty of business cards with me, I can sort out for a few of you after. And governmental sources. Governmental sources included the grants or the financial source from the local government of Veszprém, for the local municipality, and of course the national grants and the ministerial grants that are available for festivals. And these are the billboards you might be facing about 3 years ago. The gentleman left, Richard Bona, from Cameroon, singing in Doula language beautifully, or Heather Small from M People, or Sir Tom Jones. And there was a concert after Prince passed away, and their bands came to a celebrating concert. A year after, Bob Marley, son, Ziggy, Amy McDonald from England, Aloha Black, I Need a Dollar Guy, and the opera pieces, Jose Cura from Argentina, and Ramon Vargas from Mexico, and the two Hungarian sopranos, Josh Stone, and Lajko Felix at the Jesuit Garden. He's that type of program, that type of guy we perform at the smaller garden with a capacity of 450 people. This year, Caro Emerald, an American tenor from Verdi Rigoletto, the Czech soprano Zuzana Markova, and of course an Italian Rigoletto, the Red Red Wine UB40 guys, and Katie Melua who came back. So please search for the billboards pretty much like this. We will know once the next year lineup by the 2nd of December, and tickets will be available right after on the day when we know once. So it's a pretty good one for the Christmas pre-sale. So besides the business cards, I would like to sort out for possible sponsors, also point out your attention for buying Christmas presents. So save the date, please. Next year's Veszprém Fest between the 14th of July and the 18th of July. And thank you very much. And do not hesitate to ask me questions. Thank you.
Zoltán, you have fantastic names on your list. So Cura, for example, or Melua, or Emerald. You have Giuseppe Verdi as well. They are all artists. I know that Verdi is dead. Is it difficult to work with artists? Are they really eccentric? Do they behave as prima donnas? Or they are stars, but otherwise they are normal people?
9 out of 10 are quite normal. 1 out of 10 are not quite normal. Partly this story about how crazy they are coming from the gentleman I titled my presentation, Luciano Pavarotti, and mainly about the opera singers, because this is also a misunderstanding, so I would like to make the point. If they are touring, let's say Luciano Pavarotti is being touring in Europe in July and performs every 3rd or 4th night. And if he is booked for a bad quality air-conditioned hotel room and he has a problem with his throat, then like domino, 10 festivals go to bankrupt. So he requires a certain air-conditioned machinery, an air humidifier, a purifier, something, and certain other criteria. Sometimes I receive a technical rider for opera star, which says that in terms of outdoor performance, there should be a temperature scaling 25 minutes before performance, and if the temperature drops below 18, can be cancelled. So I need to be very careful in terms of whether to move a show indoor or keeping it outdoor, because if it happens that they cancel a performance because the temperature drops below or beneath 18, you are in trouble. You already sold 3,000 or 5,000 tickets, and what you're going to do? You tell them that it's too cold for the start. So it's partly because of this.
And you are in direct contact with them, or you work with the managers, the impresarios?
It's not like you called Paco de Lucia personally. I could call because when they are here, you swap cellular numbers. Yeah, oh, okay. And
I will select a few for you.
oh yeah,
so
okay. So
do not
it's
bother.
not like that. They got booking agents, they got management, and I have a booking agent. My festival has a booking agent. When I started 15 or 16 years ago, I was doing the booking myself. Then it happened that I was driving my car to pick up Aldi Meola at the airport, and I brought him to the hotel, and I brought him to the rehearsal. Now we don't do that. A festival has a booking agent. Her job, because she's a lady actually, is to keep in touch with all the booking agencies in Europe and overseas. And this is the way you communicate with us. Sometimes when I know someone who's been here and I have his cellular number, or we're friends on Facebook and we can message, but it's not the way it's happening professionally. It's always by managements and booking agents.
And regarding project management, it must be a great project to organize a festival like this. Did you learn project management, or do you have a professional project manager, or anybody can manage a project?
I never learned, no. I've been learning a lot during those 25 years I've been...
Learning by experience.
Yeah, but never in school. I told you I'm a teacher, so originally.
Did you have some failures? Because we were told by some of our speakers that we can learn a lot from failures when we do something wrong.
Sure.
But we learn forever that it was wrong, and I had to improve it.
I own this company, so if I undercalculate something and I make, let's say, 100,000 euro loss financial. This is my money, so it's very important me to be able not to make too many mistakes in terms of sustainability and in terms of the financial part of it. Ticket pricing is a very sensible something. If you overprice a concert and you cannot sell the tickets, you are in trouble. So
And if it is not a secret, is it profitable? So when you make the final calculation,
the company itself, by law, is a non-profit public company, but it's profitable. So we do have profits. You can check it out. It's public data. But we always keep the profit in the company in terms of being able to make higher offers for, I'm not saying for the Rolling Stones, but maybe higher, more expensive artists.
you have a project company?
Yeah, we do have, yeah.
And I suppose that it's possible to calculate the profit for the company, but at the same time, maybe the town has a profit as well, because there are hotel owners, there are restaurants,
You're telling me?
there are museums and so on. So in the feasibility study, you calculated both profits, the profit for the town and the profit for you?
In the feasibility study, when they pointed out that it's not possible to organize, no, no. In a feasibility study, they should do now what I'm trying to encourage them to do, a feasibility study, because I have my hotel and my restaurant just about, let's say, 300 meters from the venue of a festival. And my experience is that those numbers during the festival nights I'm generating as a revenue in my restaurant, if I would have those numbers, let's say at least 100 more days, I would be a wealthier man.
What about the Lake Balaton? It is the last question on the screen. Balaton is very close to
Very
Veszprém.
important. One of the mistakes that when they made that feasibility study saying it's not possible, they undercalculated or neglected the fact that although it's right that we do not have enough hotel capacities, let's say we have 200 towns, 200 numbers of let's say 4-star more hotel rooms in Veszprém, which is nothing for a festival like this, but they did not take into consideration that just around 30 kilometers of a town or 40 kilometers of a town, we have thousands of more, and we have a lot of holiday houses. Those guys, the well-educated 40 guys, have some kind of estates around Veszprém, just between, let's say, Réfülöp and Siófok, and that's a kind of hidden capacity they did not calculate into their feasibility study. Yeah, Balaton is very important.
It's a project not only for you, but for the whole town. So I think that when there is a festival in the very heart of a city, the whole town must participate. So it means that there are many stakeholders. Well, how do you manage all these stakeholders? Who are the most important partners for you? Do you have enemies, for example? Where was the bishop when Kool and the Gang had a concert in front of his window?
Fortunately, he was away of town. But the bishop, the previous bishop, we have a new bishop just being installed about months ago. But the past 15 years, I've been working with one bishop together. I had a very good personal relation to the bishop personally. We play ping pong together sometimes, and this kind of bishops. So he was a kind of more open bishop for some terms, and he was an opera fan. So what I did is that I always explained to him when we had the lineup, and I sat down with the bishop, and I explained to him that I made him a presentation. It was important for him, who is the boss of all the institutions up at the castle, not to fire the festival after 15 years, although it's a public place, but the castle, we use the castle as a backstage. Just imagine for an American star arriving to my festival to be hosted and roomed in a room which was a part of a bishop's palace with furniture of late 18th centuries. So the Americans are impressed about, and when they go out on the stage, they're really impressed about. So that's why I consider to be the importance of our surroundings. But anyhow, what was the question?
Yeah. So managing the stakeholders, I think, for example, the municipal council, you mentioned the bishop, and of course there are many, there are 60,000 people in Veszprém, and I suppose that many of them are at home.
Yeah.
Some of them may not like pop music, for example, some others do not like operas.
Yeah, that's very important, and one of the signal, one of the feedback that the local citizens are appreciating the festival is that when we installed the Bishop's Garden, which is quite open, there are about 25,000 people living around, and obviously at 11 o'clock, when they, even if it's not Rolling Stones, but a kind of jazz or world music band is quite loud. We did not have more than 5 telephone calls into the police station to stop the event. That's a very good sign. I think that's the sign that they appreciate the event. Otherwise, you have a small party somewhere, the hundreds of people are calling to the police to stop the event.
And what kind of team do you have for all this? Because the festival is in summer. So what does your team do between two festivals? In January, for example.
We prepare for the festival. Right now, we are about to do the press release for the lineup. We are about preparing to open up a new website with the new stars and selling the tickets and early bird tickets and running for sponsors. It's a never-ending story. You work differently by different part of a year, but so the festival is bigger than a kind of sleeping festival which goes for sleep after October.
What is your time span? I suppose that you started to plan the festival for the next calendar year. But if you would like to get a star, maybe you have to consider the next 5 years. I do not know. So what is the time span you have to use?
Opera stars are different because the opera stars, main focus for the opera star is being invited to a main opera house like the Metropolitan, Italy, England, so the big houses, famous houses. And those houses are planning way further. So right now, the Hungarian Opera House is booking an opera star 2 years ahead or 3 years ahead. So opera stars are different because of the situation. Mainly, those stars we working together, and this is not Rolling Stones. So those stars that are available for us fee-wise, we can afford to make an offer for them. They have an annual planning. So we knew already by the time of this year festival, July, that who are going to be the stars will probably be touring in Europe next July. So we had a chance to make offer. But finalizing an offer takes a time because they need to put together the routing to optimize the costs, of course. So we just been able to confirm 2 stars for next July, and we are hopefully pretty close to get confirmed the 3rd one in the 5 main days of the festival. So it's a year planning period before, mainly.
And the last question, Pavarotti died, so who is your dream guest now?
I'm lucky. I've always been a music fan, and many of those stars you've seen here and amongst the lineup of festivals, I personally wanted to see live, and it was so great for me to experience them to perform on my festival. But the lists are very, very long. So still, I think, so I have plenty of other names. It's not too fair with all other stars I also admire and love to pick one. But if you squeeze me to pick one, maybe I would say David Gilmour from Pink Floyd. He never been to Hungary performing alone. Only Roger Waters, the other great guy of Pink Floyd. That would be great.
Maybe he is of Hungarian origin. Almost all our speakers today happen to be of Hungary.
So he's not.
We can
dig out something or figure out something that he doesn't know that he has some kind of Hungarian relation. You're right.
Zoltán, thank you very much for being with us. I think it was a very interesting presentation, and I think all of you wish you good luck in the future, and we hope that we will visit many of these festivals. So thank you very much. Thank you, really. Thank you. And now I will give back the floor to László and Balázs for a final wrap-up. László, Balázs, please come to the stage.
1, 2, check. Thank you very much, George. Thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce somebody. His name is Balázs Prattinger, and actually he's the man behind the event. So thank you very much for all the work what you did in the last 12 months. And if you don't mind, I'd like to tell you a very, very short story about the Art of Projects 2019. Back in 2018, sometime November, we finished the previous year conference, and I called Balázs saying, hey, we have to jump in the car because we are driving to Belgrade to a PMI meeting. So we finished the conference Friday, driving to Belgrade. And on the way to Belgrade, I told him, look, we have to start all over again. So actually, we started a year ago, and thank you very much for all the work what you did in the last year. And I would like to say thank you very much for all the presenters. So I need some help, Balázs. First of all, I have something for Adrian. So Adrian, would you be kind enough and come on stage? This is a small token of appreciation from the PMI Budapest Hungarian chapter. Thank you very much. And I have someone else. His name is Mr. Tomas Valenta. Are you in the room, Tomas? Thank you very much for coming all the way from Brazil and Frankfurt. He is the flying German guy because he's traveling all around the globe all the time. And do I see Frank Saladis in the room? Frank, are you in the room? Frank, you are not in the room. I have a little thing here. This is for our MC, George. Thank you very much again. This is the 7th year. Thank you very much. And I have something for Zoltan. Zoltan, are you still in the room, Mr. Mészáros? Where are you? Okay, now here's the thing. I was told that you were given a piece of paper, which is the feedback form. Is it true that you received your feedback form? Okay, we have two ladies running around in the room with a small glass. And I would like you to put your feedback form into this little bowl. So make sure that your name is on it and make sure I can read it, okay? Because thanks for IT Services Hungary, thanks for the Academia Publishing House, thanks for PMI Budapest Hungarian chapter, we have some great prizes. And we would like to collect the feedback forms, first of all, so make sure that you put it in the little basket. Thank you very much. Then we are going to do something together, right? Okay. The other thing, while we are waiting for these little piece of paper, I would like to announce that 2020, the show must go on, the 5th of November, 2020. It's a Thursday. Art to Projects 2020 is coming, so mark your calendars. The day after, we have the masterclass. Just for your information, tomorrow we have the masterclass, and again, this year is a record year for us because over 45 people signed up for the masterclass, so we have a morning session and an afternoon session tomorrow. Frank is going to teach us what leadership means for him and what leadership is all about. So tomorrow, the masterclass. And 2020, nothing different. So 2020, the 6th of November, Friday, we have the PMI Budapest masterclass. And at the same time, I would like to ask two ladies to come on stage. So, Steffi, are you in the room? Ildi, are you in the room? Because, guys, I have to admit something. It's not all about PMI, but it's all about you. But I have to announce that there are 40 people working behind the scenes, and I would like to congratulate these two fine ladies who worked with us in the last 7 years. So thank you very much again. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And why this is important for us, because 7 years ago when we started the Art of Projects conference, we worked with a company who were working behind the scenes. We didn't know too much about Momart because there was another marketing agency, and last year something went wrong with that agency. And I picked up the phone and I called her saying, hey, I need your help. I need a professional team. And they organized everything for us this year again, and I think this is a wonderful venue. We have 300 people in the room. So again, ladies, thank you very much for the entire team. So it's a small token of appreciation. Thank you. Thank you. And a round of applause for the technicians, guys. Thanks very much for everything what you do for us. Thanks, Istvan, for the Slido. Thanks, guys, for the video and everything, and all the hostesses who are with us. And now, Balázs. Thank you very much, ladies. Come on stage and...
Frank is with us.
Frank is with us. Frank, I have something for you. Frank, can you come on stage, please? Thank you very much for flying from New York. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Frank. Now, the floor is yours.
Okay, we have some presentations for you. So there will be the present row. We're looking for the papers. Thank you.
So, a couple of words about the gifts. So, the PIMBOK Guide, version 6 Hungarian. Today is the official announcement day, so now this is available.
Shall I
We
start?
have 6 books, I guess, so 6 books. So, let's start with the PIMBOK Guide.
Noémi Varga.
Noemi, are you in the room? Where are you? Hello. No. We have to take a picture. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I have another PIMBOK Guide version 6 Hungarian. It goes to
Ákos Szűcs.
Akos. Where are you? So Peter is the boss here, so please come on stage. Come closer. This is for you, sir. Thanks very much for coming. Thank you so much. Wait, okay. The next one, PIMBOK Guide, version
Goes
6.
to Flora Siraki.
Flora Siraki. Flora, are you here in the room? Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, still to come. Project Management útmutató, PIMBOK Guide, 6. kiadás. It goes to...
Okay, it will be a bit different because it's Samuel Adeyemo.
Okay, sir. Let me ask you something. Do you speak Hungarian? Okay, I have another book for you.
This one?
So, the change managers, is that okay? Thank you, sir. And the winner is?
Endre Kovács.
Endre, are you in the room? So, first of all, I have to hand it over to you. Then I change the microphone, shake hands, smile. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's do this way.
Gergő Gacsig.
Gotcha, Gergő. A little story about this book that 50 volunteers work with us. So, guys, thanks very much for those of you who helped us to translate this book. So, this is yours. Thank you very much. Thank you. Next one. Okay.
Olu.
Olu. Papa Olu, you speak Hungarian, right? You do speak Hungarian, right? A little bit, yes. Olu, it's nice to see you here at the Art of Projects. Thanks very much. Thank you. And the last PIMBOK Guide,
Goes
6th
to
edition.
Anita Takács.
Anita. By the way, you are the one who's responsible for OTP Bank. Thank you very much. And she's a volunteer who works with us. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Now, the Agile Practice Guide, Hungarian version, is also available. So the family is complete now. So it goes to
Christian Körmendi.
Christian. Oh, a familiar face. I saw you before somewhere. Stay here. Shake hands, smile. Thank you.
Gabriella Cseh.
Gabi. Thanks very much for being with us today. What company are you from?
OTP.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Shake hands, smile. Thank you. Next one.
Tímea Fekete.
Timea. Okay. Let me ask the same question. What company are you representing?
IT Services Hungary.
Thank you very much. The other gold sponsor. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Another one.
I think we'll change because Tariq Adnan.
Tariq. What company are you representing, sir?
City.
Citibank. Okay, Tariq. Okay, wait for a second. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. And I have to announce that Academia Publishing House was so kind enough and they gave us all these free books. So Academia, thank you very much.
Zsófia Csordás.
Jofi, are you in the room, please? Okay, it's mine. Right, next one, please.
Ilona Donina.
Ilona. Okay. Do you speak Hungarian? You don't speak Hungarian? Time to learn. No. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay. Is it okay? It's for you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Otland. Next one.
Goes to Rodolfo Sanchez.
Rodolfo. Of course you speak Hungarian, right? Persze. Do you? You do, okay. Which one would you like to get? Sure? In Spanish? Okay, that goes to the gentleman. Give me a shake. Thanks. Thank you very much. Next one.
Goes to Kristina Villám.
Christy, are you in the room? Okay. Pretend that you are Christina, right? So Christina, congratulations. What company are you from?
DXC Technology.
Okay, so Christina, thank you very much. Okay, and the winner is?
Hajnalka Albert.
Hajnalka. That's for you. Thank you very much. Just a second.
G Hungary. G Healthcare Hungary.
G Healthcare. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anita Szabó Orosz.
Anita, are you in the house? Thank you. What company are you from?
DXC Technology.
Thank you very much. We still have 3 books left, so...
Balázs Pratting. Oh no. Balázs Dömötör.
Congratulations, Balázs. Okay, one more step. Yes, you do very well. Thank you. Give me a shake hand. Thank you. What company are you from?
Nemag Győr Kft.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
And it goes to Ferenc Godó.
Ferry, I saw you before. You used to work for the same company, right? You did. Okay, but you left us. What company are you from?
G Healthcare.
G Healthcare. Thank you.
And it goes to Ferenc Vas.
The Iron Man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just a second. The name of your company?
Dunakeszi Járműjavító.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, and IT Services Hungary was kind enough to give us some lovely prizes. So, all these, so give me one. Is Laszlo Balog in the house? Laci, are you in? What is this? You don't know? Okay, I'm traveling tomorrow, so can I keep it? No, okay. So it looks like a travel bag. It goes to
Andrea Török.
Andy Turek. You look like Christina, right? What company are you from again?
DXC Technology.
Okay. Oh, wait. Congratulations. Another one for my laptop. Okay, leave it here. Okay. It goes to
Peter Novák.
Peter. Do you speak Hungarian? No, it's not needed. So come on stage, please. Okay. Just a second. What company are you representing?
IT services? No. Procter & Gamble.
Procter & Gamble, thank you. Oh, it's pretty cool. Wait for a second. Oh, it's a sports bag. Laci, can you organize something for me? Thank you. Okay. You don't need to look for a Hungarian speaker.
Andrea Bátori.
It's pretty cool for traveling, right? So, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Let me give it to you.
Thank you. IT Services Hungary.
IT Services Hungary. Ooh. I mean. Is it Chinese? We hardly can. No, we can't read it. Sorry, guys, we can't read the name.
Regu Kozma.
Regu Kozma. Oh, that's why I told you. Make sure that we can read your name. Don't tell me that you are from IT Services Hungary.
Services Hungary.
Are you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so this is a special gift for you, sir. Thank you very much. Balázs, let's do something. Let me take something out from here. Okay? Bence. Oh, sorry. Kocsis. Ooh. Bence, do you like wine? Do you? Do you work for IT Services Hungary? No, you don't. What company do you work for?
Citibank.
Citibank, okay. Ah, do I? Oh, right, okay, thank you very much. Just a second. I recognize your face. You can't read the name.
Mária Tóth.
Mario. Hello. All the way from Zalaegerszeg, right? Thank you very much. She's the one who came with us to Vienna. So, come on stage, please. You don't like wine, right? Do you? You do like it, okay. So, just a second. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and last but not least, oh, let me check what it is. Sorry, guys, I keep it. Oh, is it a smartwatch? Oh, it looks like. Or a Fitbit? What is this, Laszlo? You don't know? Okay, it's a fitness watch, okay. And the winner is?
Monika.
How many Monikas do we have in the house? Monikas? Raise your hand. Monica, are you in the house? Only one? Two? You look like a man. Monica, what's wrong with you? This is not the Monica show, so come on. Monica who?
Monika Kecskés.
Monica. Woo! So this is for you. Just a second. What company are you from?
ExxonMobil.
Oh, thank you. And again, round of applause for IT Services Hungary. And that's it. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, with that said, this is 5 o'clock, so the show is over. The last video. Ladies and gentlemen, see you next year. Thank you very much. Thank you. Goodbye.
Some of the key ingredients that I've found in the PMI's 50 years of success are the people. the incredible commitment of the volunteers and the community. It's like a big family from the beginning of the association through the 50 years.
It's about caring, about sharing. You've got people who have done project management for years, now want to share their expertise with new project managers. And I think that's a big part of the DNA. It's about giving back.
15,000 people worldwide that make PMI the community it is. It's really tremendous.
PMI is currently undergoing a huge transformation, and for the members it's going to be a completely different experience, and I'm sure the future is going to be bright as long as you stay engaged.
I can see a bright future for PMI. It is evolving. The best is still to come.
It's an extremely agile organization. So we're going to be around. We will be probably have an even greater impact than we have now. Start preparing for the 100th anniversary because it's going to be a really big one.
Happy anniversary, PMI. Congratulations. It's been a good first 50 years. So let's make the next 50 years even better.